Hola, buenos días.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
This is Barb.
And this is Estela.
And welcome to
Cafecito.
And Crime. So, hola everybody. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Today, the case will be brought to you by me.
Barbie.
How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Which, we saw each other Saturday.
Yeah, but that's a while for us.
That's a while, because we usually see each other every other day. But yeah, we're going to fix that. We're going to fix that soon.
Yeah.
So today we'll like the little girl. We just went to my son's program, like winter program, Christmas program. And so the little girl, she was talking and she couldn't, I guess, articulate correctly. And then she said, up. So that's what I just did. Anyway, so today's case, we will be going to Denver, Colorado.
Okay. We haven't been, have we?
I don't think we have, but I mean, I don't know. At this point, I've
No te acuerdas.
No me acuerdo.
Yeah.
So if you would like to come with us to Denver, please grab your cafecitos.
And let's get started.
So the case is, like I said, from Denver, and this is where the actual case was, or the crime was committed. So let me go ahead and tell you an interesting fun fact of Denver. It has 300 days of sunshine a year, according to denver.org. It's located east of a major mountain range, so Denver has a mild, dry, and sunny climate with more annual hours of sun than San Diego or Miami Beach.
Oh, shit.
In the winter, Denver is drier than Phoenix, with an average daily high of 45 degrees and 7 degrees Celsius in
What
February.
you're saying is they have real seasons.
Yeah. Well, they have, like, think about it, 300 days of sunshine? Like, that's a lot.
That sounds good.
That sounds amazing. So
Yeah.
they probably are happy, and they legalize weed, so they're even happier.
Yeah.
Like, Denver must be amazing in my book. Another one is that their golf courses remain open all year, and they actually have people play every day. In January, pretty much, like I said, the whole year. Denver is one of the only few cities also to have 6 professional sports teams. They love their sports, from basketball to football and soccer to basketball. Did I say? No, let me say it again. They love their sports, from basketball to football to soccer to baseball. Denver also has a horse racing and professional rodeo. And not only that, they also have 90 golf courses.
I don't know nothing about golf,
Me
really,
neither.
besides Top Golf.
But it's 90 golf courses.
Is that a lot, I guess?
Yes, it's like miles of bike paths, and one of the nation's most unique city park system. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I never thought of Denver like that. All I think of Denver is just like awesome.
Like that? Well, yeah, like that.
That is awesome, huh?
Yeah.
But first, the victim that we're going to be speaking of, I know you probably will start hearing this story and say, okay, we know a famous case that is kind of like this case, but it has, it's totally different.
Are you talking about JonBenet?
No.
Okay.
No, JonBenet, she's
No,
alive.
but you said like this.
Like this, yeah. So we're going to actually come back here.
To Houston?
Yes, the victim of our story is born in Pasadena, and her name is Olivia Gant.
Okay.
So Olivia Gant's mother, Kelly Turner, was being investigated in 2018 after a primary care physician became suspicious about Kelly Turner, claiming that her 11-year-old daughter had been treated for a childhood cancer or lymphoma when she was in Texas. When they contacted the doctor here in Pasadena or in Texas to find out if this was true, the 11-year-old had never had cancer. Human Services report in Jefferson County noticed that Kelly's younger daughter, which is Olivia, had died in 2017 after being on the news and being kind of national. And they were kind of saying, okay, Kelly, this doesn't sound right. So when they started kind of digging a little bit, well, they found out that Kelly might have been benefiting from the attention that she was getting from financial and social off of her medical conditions that were fictitious. Mm-hmm. Which means, that reminds us of Gypsy Blanche. Gypsy and her mom, what was her name?
Gypsy Rose?
Gypsy Rose and whatever the lady, I don't remember the lady's name. She doesn't matter anyway. So let's learn a little bit about Olivia and what happened to her. Olivia was born June 21st of 2010. Her and her parents have had a difficult marriage. So they were going on and off, and her father was always at work, and Olivia's mom was kind of just at home taking care of her and her two sisters. So it was Olivia's mom, the two sisters, and Olivia. So there was a total of 3 children in the
So,
home.
¿cómo se llama Olivia's mom? Kelly?
Kelly.
Okay, so Kelly, Olivia, and her 2 sisters.
Yeah. I
And
didn't
the dad.
find her name of the sister. I couldn't find it.
A sister or sisters?
Sister. She had 2 sisters and
Okay.
Olivia. In August of 2011, Kelly Turner begins blogging about Olivia and her middle daughter and her other daughter alleged medical needs. So she was saying that Olivia was going to be taken to the hospital, that because she was having some problems since she was born, and then she said that she needed to be fitted. You know how those kids get fitted for helmets because their heads are kind of shaped awkwardly? Awkwardly. Wow. That's just a little, yeah. Anyway, they're shaped awkwardly. And so then they get fitted for helmets.
Right.
And then after a while, their kind of head starts getting better. Pero I think you have to go through a process for that. And then she after started saying that it wasn't just the helmet, that she had a tumor. That
So she was this for just Olivia or también una otra de las niñas?
Olivia and her middle child,
Okay.
she was just kind of going on
Going
and
back
off.
and forth between both of them. Okay. Que las dos niñas,
Estaban
2 of her
enfermas.
children were having medical
needs. You know, que estaban enfermas, and that she just went on and on in her blog.
So her blog, she was kind of like venting or kind of just...
Which I understand, you know.
I mean, maybe it can help other parents that are going through something like that.
Definitely,
Right?
definitely. So she then states that her daughter Olivia was having seizures as well at 9 months. So that was very dangerous for a baby. So they were not giving her good. She started saying, well, they're not giving me good hopes about her. And, you know, it was going to affect Olivia's way of life. After a few years of just kind of going on and off and dealing back and forth with Olivia's dad, she ends up leaving and she moves to Colorado. The first time that Olivia was seen by the Children's Hospital in Colorado was in 2012. She was
2?
Yeah, she was 2.
Yeah, okay.
And her mom would often take pictures of her while she was in the hospital bed, or like she was in a wheelchair.
So she would post them on her blog?
On her blog, yeah.
Okay.
Cuando se la llevó, the reason that she was being seen at the Colorado Children's Hospital was because she was having difficulty eating, according to her mom. She said she couldn't eat and that she was having seizures, that she had a history of seizures. Also, she was on anti-seizure medication from here in Texas. So de aquí se la llevó con el medicamento para las seizures. So it wasn't
to Colorado.
Yeah, to Colorado. So she goes to Colorado, she sees these new people, and she's like, yeah, she has seizures.
This is the medicine that
This
she's
is the
taking.
medicine that they're giving her. Also, she did report that Olivia was having trouble having a bowel movement, so she was constipated. But she did, once again, have Olivia on that seizure medication. In July of 2014, after a visit to a neurologist in Colorado, they did tell Kelly that she needed to stop giving the medication to Olivia because she did not have a seizure disorder.
Okay. Now they straight up told her no longer you
need to give her this medication. She does not have
a seizure disorder, so
disorder.
she doesn't need it.
Yeah. But obviously, based on the end of the story, we know she did not stop giving her the medication. September 2014, Olivia had a 3rd hospitalization. And this one was for the constipation that she had brought up at the before. She took her to the hospital and she had her admitted. By November 2014, Olivia had a surgery, which what they did was they created a hole in her abdomen. So the waste can drain out of her straight from her small intestine bags, because she was kept telling them that que no podía hacer el baño, because she was really constipated. So they put in a hole in her stomach, Estela. By this time, she's 2014. She was
4, like 3,
right?
4.
So they also removed some backed up stool.
So
It could be, right? From her intestine. She did get better from the constipation, but her mother did report that she wouldn't eat after. So they empezó a decir que no comía. And she actually made them put in a feeding tube. So at first, the feeding tube was through her nose, which is the basic feeding tube that they give pretty much the beginner feeding tube, como quien dice. In January 2015, a more permanent feeding tube was inserted through Olivia's stomach. Okay? Because the one from her nose, according to her mom, wasn't enough. So now it was through her stomach, and That's a little bit more permanent. Like, lo tuvieron que coser and all of that stuff in her stomach. In June of 2015, Olivia has another surgery. So this time to place the same tube, but now they were going to feed her through her veins.
What?
Yes.
This doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense, right? So this is a process called the total perineal nutrition, and they also call it TPN. So what it does is that it goes through your veins to be able to like kind of make sure that you're getting the nutrition that you need. Pero they also do feeding therapy at the hospital. And you know what? She was able to get better and she was able to eat normal foods again. So they're thinking, okay, she's getting better.
But do they, I don't know if you have this information, pero do they, how are they, just because la mom le está diciendo, oh, no come o no hace el baño, they're like, okay, let's operate her. Like,
well, the thing is, we have to remember, there's a lot of things in the medical field that you cannot find out if it's true. One of them is pain, and the other one is what happens while they're at home. Yeah. So if the mom is coming up there and telling them, hey,
no está comiendo,
no está haciendo el baño, she's in pain. Now, I had a constipated child too. Pero, I mean, yo le daba lo que encontraba para poder que comiera, right? Pero, I mean, some of those things, you would just go in there, like, they just can't poop. And then you would look at the girl and she looks fine. Pero in your mind, you're like, okay, well, the mom has been going through this. She's not crying, whatever. But maybe, you know, and like
you said, I guess as far as the stool goes, you said that she did have some backed up stool. Like,
yes.
La niña. And I'm sure she can make it to like where she constipates her, right? If needed. Like, exactly.
So I'll talk to you about that in a little bit and why I think that she was constipated and they found that there. Not only that, but around this time, she did start a GoFundMe account para ayudar con los expenses de la niña, right?
Yeah.
So in July of 2015, Turner posted online that Olivia had a terminal illness and that she is not doing very well. She said that she had something called intestinal failure. And she even was interviewed a few places, like on TV and stuff like that. And she just kept telling them, yes, Olivia has something really rare called intestinal failure. I mean, I don't know if this is something that people can just like sit there and be like, okay, she has intestinal failure, right? So she did tell her followers that Olivia had a bucket list. Mm-hmm. She even took a picture of the little girl. It's online if y'all want to look it up. Y está sentada la niña con dos cartelones, and she has written with squares like this, it says bucket list. Now, at this point, this is 2015. How old is Olivia? About 5? Does she even know what a bucket list is? Let's reserve our comments, sister.
Wait.
So she said that she needed to complete this before she died. This bucket list, right? In 2016, Olivia starts receiving a lot of painkillers because by this time she's pushing it. She's in a lot of pain. So they just started giving her the painkillers. They thought, okay, so she's in pain. Obviously, if she has a feeding tube, she has a lot of other things according to her mom. So they're like, okay, she's in pain. So le empezaron a dar medicina.
Was she saying that she was in pain, or we'll get there?
No, la
niña.
La niña no. No, la niña no. And I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. So she was in a lot of pain. And the problem was, like I said before, you can't test pain. You can't run an MRI and be like, oh, okay.
Aquí le duele.
You can't do that. So they just go based on what
you're telling them.
Yeah. The doctors, like I said, was just going based on what mom was telling them. Around this time, she also started to report that Olivia's older sister had lymphoma when she lived in Texas as well.
What the fuck?
So I don't know if she was kind of getting prepared for Olivia's older sister. Like, I don't know what she was doing, to be honest. Nothing surprised me with this woman at this point. In February 2017, Olivia had a Bat Princess wish party. So
a what?
Bat Princess wish party. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation, they usually pick some children, and then from there
they grant their wishes.
And according to her, Olivia wanted to become a superhero, and she was gonna save Ariel, and I mean, it was like this whole
like
thing,
Batman.
like Batman. Yeah.
Okay.
And she is in the picture. She is so adorable. She's wearing a pink dress. I mean, there's not a picture of her that I've seen where she's not smiling.
Oh.
Like, she's not smiling. She's not like happy. Like, she didn't look like a terminally ill child. And I know that I'm not, you're not supposed to like
just determined by
what you look, because obviously a lot of stuff could be going on inside. But at this moment, because I know that she was not terminally ill,
she wasn't ill at all.
Wasn't ill at all, exactly. So this was a big deal. She came out she called the news para estar seguro que the news was there
at the party,
so they can see that Olivia was having this party because it was a Make-A-Wish for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
And because she was terminally ill.
Yeah. Not only that, but she was actually kind of the face of the hospital because she turned into, because
she had been there that long already.
She had been there. Not only that, pero acuérdate, she was very lively. She would talk. She wasn't scared of talking to anybody. So there's a commercial that ella sale con Miss Colorado, which is like the
for the state.
For the state.
Yeah.
And Miss Colorado and her are making a cake. And then when they make this cake, they sell the cake in an auction, and they made $700 for the clinic's research or the hospital research.
Confused as to the hospital.
Let's take a quick break.
Persons of Interest is back, and it's bigger than ever.
That scream will echo in my head for many years.
Taser! 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 He's gonna shoot!
Oi! Shot fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Stay out! You got a gun on you!
He had the perfect aim.
I am absolutely stressed at that point. I have no idea where my officers are.
Persons of Interest available everywhere you get your podcasts.
I was too, but let me tell you a little bit more about it.
Okay.
So, I mean, once again, I guess that's why they would pick her, because she was just such a happy kid, and she was just,
they needed
happy.
to show that for...
I don't know at this point. So February 2017, again, her wish was granted. And the next day, she actually had another Make-A-Wish, which was that she wanted, because she had that bucket list, she wanted to become a firefighter. Mm-hmm. So la llevaron, and they gave her the whole bit. They gave her a ride around, and
they gave her a little hard hat.
They gave her a hard hat. She actually was able to apagar un incendio. Like, she was like at the, it was cool. But at the big party, she was actually able to meet Ariel. That's pretty fucking awesome. Dude.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the hospital made it a big deal. They made sure there was a lot of people there and everything. So this party cost around $11,000. Mm-hmm. The firefighter thing and all of that together was
combined,
like $11,000. At this point, Olivia's family from Texas, because obviously they're kind of like, what the hell's going on? All she's posting is just pictures of Olivia dying, and then all of a sudden she doesn't let anybody talk to her. Like, she doesn't let his family come around her. Her dad is over there. He can't visit her. Like, nothing. Like, she completely separates the family from her. And if you thought that she was sick, you could see her. But if you didn't think she was sick, you were not able to have contact with Olivia. Yeah.
Wow.
So all they knew was that she kept posting pictures que la niña se estaba muriendo. So they're like calling her, like, can we see her? Blah, blah, blah.
What is going on?
No. I know. And I know this because, to me, it's sad, because a lot of people really do go through these illnesses and they really need the help, and they don't get the help because...
Or get the attention.
Yeah. Or not even that, or like the medication that they need, because people don't believe that they're sick, and things like this happen, right? But anyway, in March of 2017, she goes through her last surgery. And
surgeries for what?
Exactly. So
what are these surgeries?
Let me tell you.
Who's augthrizing these surgeries? I don't understand.
The doctor is. So this is to implant a tube in her bladder.
For what?
So this is to drain urine out of her bladder and poop, basically.
Is this part of the intestinal?
So, yeah, her intestinal failure, whatever that she thinks that she's having. On March the 24th of 2017, her mother, Kelly, requests that Olivia has a DNR, which is a do not resuscitate flag on her chart.
What?
So she said that if she starts bleeding whenever she's in surgery, she doesn't want her to get brought back to life.
What the fuck is...
Right? So, but don't worry. Finally, out of all of this time, someone raised concern.
March 2017.
Of 2017.
And she first went to this hospital in 2012.
That's correct.
So for 5 years, this little girl has been going out in and out of this hospital.
Yep.
Porque la mom está diciendo that she's sick and nobody at this fucking hospital is going along with the crazy mom.
That's correct. So this is also, we need to remember, she was on like a large amount of narcotics, like painkillers,
and all these fucking surgeries.
opiates. Like it
and
was.
She's what, 7?
Yeah, she was 7 at this point. Yeah. So
you know, that's really sad that that's all she's known, and she's not even sick.
she's not even sick. Not only that, but also, like I said, someone actually started to raise a little bit of concern. But let me tell you why the doctor actually kind of got a little bit weary about that.
So it was a doctor?
It was one of the doctors, porque they have to have a little colostomy bag. Well, a colostomy bag is donde entra el like the poop and the urine that the baby or the little girl is, you know,
releasing or
whatever.
Out of her body.
So they noticed that the amount of poop que estaba dentro de la bag, every time they would go, would be different from the time that somebody would come and check it. So the amount of poop que la niña estaba colectando was kind of weird porque they started noticing que it started getting better. So they're like, okay, the medication's working.
Or something's working.
Pero cuando Kelly vio eso, it started kind of going backwards again. So they don't know if it was because Kelly was altering shit or whatever. So they actually... Literally. So they actually put someone in the room to monitor her, to make sure that she wasn't like fucking with anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Did they put a camera in there or like an actual person?
No, an actual person would go in there and like monitor her bowel movements and all of that stuff. So it was very important for them to know how much poop was coming out because they wanted to make sure that the medication, like I said, was working and if her intestines were actually getting better with the medication. So obviously Kelly was not having it. She was like, why are you putting this person in here? This is making her uncomfortable, blah, 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 blah. Bueno, de ahí is whenever they were like, no, we are going to actually keep monitoring you. And whenever she started saying that, she said, okay, I'm moving her to hospice.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. So on March 29th, she said, hey, ¿sabes qué? Me la llevo de aquí because you guys are not, they don't want to sign the DNR and they were not listening to her and they wanted to have someone in the room. So she's like, okay, la voy a llevar de aquí.
I mean, obviously, since she's little, like, I didn't know that you can have the DNR for a child.
Apparently, for what I like research and read, because of the fact that, well, do you know how, I don't know if you remember, but a lot of the episodes, I know it sounds stupid.
That's the only reason why I know what a DNR is, because of Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. Yeah. So a lot of the times is because you know how there was an episode where this girl wanted to kill herself and that the parents were like, no, we're not going to let her die. Yeah. And then they go into a room. Well, they had to do that with her. Because they were like, no, there's no way that we're going to let you do a DNR on her. So since they refuse, at this point, they're like, no, I'm going to take her out. So
that was one of the, amongst other things, of one of the reasons porque ella se la quería llevar de allí.
Sí, that was one of them. So then on July 11th, this is when the doctor said, no voy a poner la orden. And, you know, you cannot, basically she was waiting for her to overdose on the medication and she wanted her heart to stop. That's what she wanted, right? So they were like, no, if something happens, we're going to revive her. Yeah. And so then they had a meeting, which I know, like I said,
who's they?
The doctors, the head of the doctor, and then her mom, you know, and they had a meeting. And when they put everybody in the room and everything. So according to records, and I quote, the hospital's child protection team finds no reason to alert the Department of Human Health Services to potential medical child abuse, end quote. Not only that, since the doctor did refuse to sign the DNR, then that's when she said, I'm switching doctors. And she was able to find someone that did sign the DNR paperwork.
But she didn't take her to hospice?
She took her to hospice. And that's the day when they changed doctors.
On the 11th?
On the 11th is the day.
So from March to 11, they were just arguing back and forth?
No, remember, from March 29 is when she was wanting to take her to hospice.
Right.
And they're like, no, you're not going to take her. So they're going back and forth. Okay. So from from July 11th to August the 1st is the day that they took her out the hospital and put her in hospice. A la niña. So at this point, they're like, So you're just going to switch doctors and leave, right? And you're in my head, I'm like,
But I'm like, do you still need a doctor even though she's in hospice? Because usually in hospice, they're not really treating you with medicine anymore, are they?
Yeah.
Or maybe just pain meds, right?
They give you pain meds. So they give her pain
okay.
medicine. And the day that Olivia, which was on August the 1st of 2017, transferred to hospice, there was a video of her. And this is so fucking sad, dude, because I was like, the little girl was literally going to die. Like they were taking her to die.
I'm still so confused. Obviously, you just can't go to a hospice place and be like, oh, I have a terminally ill child. I'm going to bring her in here.
Yeah. I don't know.
they ask for medical? Well, I guess all the medical records do say that, she's terminally ill, but I'm so confused.
Bro,
I don't understand how this shit happens.
I don't know how that shit happens.
I don't know how this shit happens for so long.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I was here a year and I was making shit up for my child. No, it was 5 years, no?
Yeah. Well, by this time it's 2017.
Yeah, so she went
7 years. Yeah. The video shows where they're putting her on the hospital bed and like taking her to hospice. And you would think that if she's terminally ill, estuviera toda like dormida or like sedated.
No energy.
No energy. Because that's what you think of when you take them to hospice. Maybe I'm wrong and, whatever. Pero she was singing a Hakuna Matata in her little princess dress.
Oh my God, I got chills.
Yeah. In her little princess dress.
Como si nada la niña.
Like
she has no idea.
No idea. And I one of the things that I read, like one of my research that I did, they were like not knowing that she was going to die. Like they were taking her to kill her, basically. I don't know. I just like you said, it's just mind boggling to me because I'm like, I work in the medical field and I know how much research each doctor does, like from one doctor to another. So I don't understand.
But then the team that looked into it and they said that they didn't find any
because of that, I was going to tell you that, we'll talk about why I think that, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Okay.
But remember, at this point, she's been there 7 years, right? 5. Oh yeah, 5. So she's been there 5 years. She's 7. She's the face of the hospital. Like her picture is all over the hospital. So now how are they going to be like, oh shit, we fucked up?
Yeah. Okay, so you rather killed this child than admit that you fucked up?
Sadly, yeah. Sadly, yes. Because that's exactly what happened. Let me tell you. So yes, exactly. So she never comes out of hospice.
I'm making punching motions.
On August the 20th of 2017, she died at hospice. So I'm going to tell you something, and I know that you're going to get so sad because it's going to piss you off even more. According to the family.
What family?
So finally, I guess they let, like, there was this guy named Lonnie Gartrue. I don't know if I said that right. I'm sorry, Mr. Lonnie. Which is from her dad's side, and I think that it was her papa because So
el abuelito de Olivia? On her dad's side. From Texas.
From Texas, came to see Olivia.
Before she passed?
Before she passed. Y dijo que she was lucid. And that the last time that he saw her, that she told him that she was hungry. Then she said, Papa, I'm hungry.
Oh.
Yeah, I knew you were going to cry. So all they would do was give her melted popsicle juice, and they would rub it on her lips like this. Con una como
oh
sponge.
My God.
Yeah. Y eso es lo único que le daban in pain medication. That was it. So with that being said, the whole time that the nurses and everybody was taking care of Olivia, they noticed that she was always in a good mood, and when she was not overdosed by all the medication.
When her mom wasn't fucking there.
So it just didn't seem like it was right. So it was como quien dice, rubbing them the wrong way. But obviously nobody says anything. We go back to the same thing. She passed away, la entierran a la niña. So I'm going to read a little bit about her obituary, which it pisses me off because her mom still had the fucking nerve to write this obituary because
she wrote it.
Yeah. So she says, after a long battle with a rare disease, okay, they lost their little princess. Her mother said that it was because of her intestinal failure. And then she goes on to say, it was only in the last month that the pain began to cease. Our precious little princess will now have a new body. No tubes, no more pain or sickness, and everlasting love with our Lord. See you in heaven, our Princess Olivia. You and your hero You are our hero and you are with our Lord.
Shut the fuck up, Kelly. Fuck you, Kelly. Is she dead?
No, I hate this bitch. First of all, then I read somewhere también que había dicho something like, I'd rather her die in the hospital because she spends so much time there. It was like her second home. Bitch, you made her stay there. Like, you fucking
You
did
made that her second home.
I like I said, once again, it was my... I can't understand. Anyway, so we're going to keep going. It brings us back to when they started investigating her at the beginning of the story. As I was telling you, right after she passes away, she takes her other daughter to the doctor. La más grande, la mediana. So it was the older one, the mediana, and then Olivia.
Olivia was the youngest?
She was the youngest.
Okay.
Y la empieza a llevar al doctor en Colorado también.
The middle one.
The middle one.
Okay. Because you said that she was writing initially in the blog about both of them, right?
Yeah,
pero se agarró más con Olivia y ya luego now she's putting the middle one up there again.
And remember que les dijo también at the beginning que she had lymphoma, which is cancer, when she lived in Texas.
Right.
So at this point, they're like, wait a minute.
Bitch, you crazy.
Do you think she really did have lymphoma? So they actually started to look into her. So the new doctor contacted the previous doctor here in Pasadena here in Texas.
They're still in Denver,
Colorado,
in Denver.
And so atrás de, like, behind doors, they started like, hey, let me find out what's going on. So they find out that no, her sister or the young girl that they had there never had lymphoma. She was lying. And then they started getting a little bit more concerned when they found that out, that Kelly had a daughter die and that she had died at the children's hospital not too long ago. Now they're like, I mean, this was a pretty public thing because they had done the Make-A-Wish thing and all of that.
The news were there.
The news were there. Todo. So then they're like, wait a minute.
Obviously, I don't think she's that stupid to take her second daughter to the same hospital where...
I have no idea if she did, but I honestly would not put it past her because
she just wants the attention.
She literally thought that they believed her. Like, she literally...
Do you think it got to the point where she was believing her own shit?
She probably did. Yeah. I mean, and I know that though, like, that kind of people that they end up doing stuff like this to children, they eventually believe it, I guess. I don't know. It's a mental, I don't know. Anyway.
It's a syndrome.
It's a syndrome, yeah. So they said that upon researching and all of that, they found out that they may have someone that has that Munchausen by proxy syndrome, right? So they said that she may have caused harm to Olivia and make her have significant medical procedures, right? So they're like,
that's crazy.
Oh shit,
I don't understand.
Let's find out if this bitch did this. So now whoever picked up this case is like, we're gonna find out. So guess what they did?
Wait, did they start in the hospital?
It started with that doctor that I was telling you about. The new doctor.
That he contacted the doctor from Texas.
From Texas, right? Mm-hmm. So they decided, and guess what? Sacaron el cuerpo de la niña. They exhumed her body in 2018 so that they can do extensive testing to see if she was actually terminally ill.
But don't they have to get permission from the mom to do that?
Not necessarily.
Because they were investigating her.
Yeah, if it's an investigation,
I'm sure
then
they're probably just...
So this is where they find out that there was lack of anatomical findings to account for her stating cause of death of intestinal failure.
Explain that to me in regular English.
Wait, hold on. Also, lack of finding to support many of the conditions that Olivia's mother had claimed that she suffered with. So basically, that she was not terminally ill. There was.
She just wasn't. It doesn't mean that there wasn't something wrong with her. Just that she wasn't terminally ill.
Not only that, but it also says that there was no findings to support any of the conditions that she was claiming that Olivia had. Because it wasn't just these things. She claimed that she had a lot more things.
Yeah.
So when the investigation, now they're like, oh shit, let's start investigating. They find out that she had falsely came up with medical history for Olivia. Not only that, she said she had autism. She had seizures. She had something called hydrocephalitis or something like that. And numerous birth-related disorders that she listed on the GoFundMe account page that she created in 2015.
How do you... I hope this bitch is in hell or goes to hell if there is one.
Not only that, but she also claims that she was raising money for some fundraising campaign titled Peace for Princess Olivia, and that she began for it because she was, I guess, trying to raise money for people like her, but there was no foundation.
Like a foundation in her name?
But there was no foundation under her name.
So she was just keeping the money?
Yeah, she was just keeping the money. In smaller terms, what she was saying that was wrong with her was that she had this gastrointestinal, I can't even say philomathopathy. I'm sorry, guys, if I mispronounced.
No, try it. You're in the medical field. Try to say it.
So, no, it's like this long-ass word, which causes the entire body to shut down a system at a time and for which there's no cure. So this is what she was saying that she had.
Can't they test for that?
I guess
Can't the hospital not test for that? I don't understand.
I don't either. But I mean, if she keeps telling them que no está comiendo,
exactly,
that she's constipated. Pero what's making her constipated, Estela, is all of the fucking pain medicine que le está dando.
Oh, but that's the thing.
Y no le daba de comer. So how is she not going to be constipated?
How does the hospital not test for all this stuff? I don't understand.
I don't
understand.
I do not understand it. So anyway, she also got the doctor to sign the the DNR, basically, bitch, for Olivia's chart, and obviously
the second doctor,
yeah. And then obviously, I mean, I just don't understand how she was able to convince everybody to put all these lines in this girl's body, like the nose tube and then the one in her stomach, and
I don't. This is a whole like hospital. I'm thinking of our doctor. Like, our doctor would never.
No,
she would be like, I gotta test you first.
Yeah,
I don't care that you're telling me something's wrong with you. Yeah, you can tell me that something's wrong with you, but I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with you.
So now with all of this coming up, a lot of the doctors that did treat her, now they come out and say that they were kind of fishy about her.
No shit.
Yeah. So they said that they later told authorities that she didn't have a terminal disease, and that many of the conditions that they were treating Olivia were just conditions that were based on
what the mom was telling them.
Words from Kelly, yeah.
No.
And what she was reporting on her medical history.
Oh, because you did say she had like falsified paperwork, right?
She did.
But they were basing the paperwork. Aren't you supposed to usually call and verify?
I mean, usually you do if you feel like there's something wrong,
like something fishy.
Yeah, but most of the time, like you're just trying to take care of the patient immediately.
Because they usually ask you to get like if you want to. I mean, I guess they ask you if you want to have any medical records that you want to bring with you when you bring her to us. But back then, I don't know.
Well, if you wanted to bring medical records with you, but then we do have a HIPAA. So I mean, there's if me as a patient does not sign that you can have my medical records, then I can't just call the doctor's office and be like, send me this, because you can't do that. It's against the law because it's like my privacy, right? So a lot of the doctors are now saying that yes, they did advise her not to take her out of the hospital, that they advised Olivia's mom to leave her there and to not put her in hospice, but she insisting, saying that it was going to be better for her daughter because of the way of life that she was living. Dr. Robert Kramer, a gastroenterologist who treated Olivia from 2013 to 2017, told the investigators that he never diagnosed Olivia with any of the diseases that Kelly Turner mentioned on the GoFundMe account.
Okay, then why were you treating her?
I don't like Robert Kramer. I don't know.
I don't like any of these doctors.
Whatever. Eventually, the GoFundMe account did proceed to refund any money of the donors that there were.
How much money did it raise? Do you know?
Yes, I do. I'm going to tell you that in a minute. The doctor described Olivia as being very social and talkative, and that he did not think that Olivia was autistic at all. How about tell somebody, bitch? Anyway. Also, another pediatric doctor told detectives that Olivia was, once again, not a terminal patient, and that she did not show any signs of being a terminal patient, and that conditions that her mother, once again, the same thing, her mother was the one telling them, and that they just figured that that's what was wrong with her. Olivia's mom, once she passed away, she did write an update on the GoFundMe account, and she said, and I quote, this bitch pissed me off, bro. I want to beat the shit out of her. Anyway, so she said, and I quote, "The death of a loved one at any age is tough. I know I will have bad days. I know I will struggle, but I know who holds my sweet princess. There's no more owies for you. Princess Olivia is exactly this is exactly what you asked for. What I prayed for and what God answered." End quote.
God is like, bro, why are you bringing me into this? I didn't fucking do anything.
They did arrest Kelly and they brought her in for questioning. And they were kind of asking her, hey, you know, this is what we found out.
Bitch, you lying. They were like,
Yeah.
you lying.
Bitch, I wish I was the investigator, bitch. I would be like, motherfucker. Anyway, so this is why I'm not an
Wait,
investigator.
I just want to talk.
Let me talk to her real quick. I'll be right back. So
Can
they
you
did
close the door?
Yeah, close the door. So they did mention, hey, do you know what Munchausen syndrome by proxy is? But she denied. She's like,
that.
no, I don't know what. No, she said she knew what it was, and they asked her what it was, and she said that's when someone, a parent or a caretaker, makes someone sick. But she said
attention
that,
or whatever.
No, that's not me.
Oh,
She
she
also
said, not I.
Not I. No, not me. My daughter really had intestinal failure, for real.
Yeah.
She also said that she understood what that meant and that she was not that at all and that she had nothing to hide. And she also said that if she did want to hide something, she wouldn't have signed away for them to go over her medical records. Okay. Which she did, but she signed away to go over the medical records from the hospital that she was feeding to the hospital.
Yeah.
Does that, you know,
Yeah.
It makes no... Anyway, I'm telling you, let me at this bitch. Con dos pinches cintos a la verga nada más. Bitch. I would be like, oh, you hungry, motherfucker? You hungry? Anyway, sorry, guys. I apologize. That was me kind of getting upset. She allegedly eventually did admit fabricating all of this. And on October 18th of 2019, she was indicted with charges of first-degree murder and child abuse and defrauded Medicaid and private donors. She had defrauded Medicaid for more than $538,000. And she raised $22,000, $270 from the GoFundMe account. That's not including the money that she got from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which was around $11,000. And she also ripped off the funeral home and the cemetery where her daughter was buried. Yeah.
Wow.
So remember
Crazy bitch.
that I talked to you about Olivia's dad a little bit or whatever. He was a really good dad. Like, he was really trying. So I remember reading, I don't know how much of this is true, but I do believe this bitch. So doing something like this. So I remember that apparently, and once when she was asking for that Medicaid, she told him they had insurance, the girls here in Texas. Y le dijo, no, quítalas de la insurance because I'm going to get Medicaid over here and it's better for us and it'll be cheaper. So, okay, he did what she said. Believing in her, right?
Yeah.
So le hizo eso, but then they were divorced. But over there, she was saying that they were not divorced,
Just separated.
and that he was just a bad dad,
Like a deadbeat.
and wouldn't come. So not only that, hold on, this gets worse. She actually was getting $1,200 every 2 weeks from him. Because he would work and he was making enough money to only keep $300 for himself. Y lo demás, she would deposit it in Wells Fargo account for the girls. So it wasn't like she wasn't getting money from him, pero she was.
But it wasn't through like a child support court order. It was just out of him,
exactly. But he had receipts. So they were able to prove that, yes, he was
providing money.
Yeah, he was providing them. He would only keep $300 every 2 weeks because for himself. Like for food, whatever, because he didn't have another family or anything.
Yeah.
So, y todo lo demás se lo mandaba a sus niñas. Y esta pinche vieja matando a la niña. Not only that.
¿Qué estaba haciendo con el dinero?
I don't know. But not only that, let me finish.
Desmadre.
Más. She did more. She also used another social security number for him and then started collecting unemployment, bitch. Unemployment benefits for this man that has a whole ass job.
She's a whole ass scammer.
Yeah. This guy, like, I'm like, this poor guy. Like, he had a whole ass job here in Texas. And she was over there saying que no tenía trabajo and she was collecting unemployment benefits.
On his behalf.
On his behalf.
Y quitando el dinero for the girls.
Not only that, but also collecting food stamps and TANF benefits. You know, that's like they give you cash or something. So, I mean, she did get jail time, but she only got 16 years, bro. Yeah. Only 16
Not
years.
life?
Not life. For the death of her daughter. 16 years.
And did anything happen to the hospital?
No. Nothing happened to the hospital. No, the hospital didn't get investigated, which I don't understand how and why, but...
What?
Somebody got... I don't want to say that, but, you know, don't come after me, but somebody must have got paid off somewhere. And that's the story of Olivia Gant. Yep. And I know that this kind of reminds you of the gypsy story, but
there's another story that I've heard about this, but it was a little boy. La mom le hizo eso a little boy.
Yeah.
But I think he was younger. I think he was like 2 or something. But
like just the fact that you were able.
Le quitaron los girls, obviously, right? Like
Yeah,
this crazy bitch.
for sure.
They went back to the dad. I'm assuming.
I'm guessing. I don't know much about that, but I could not find any information about the daughters or anything, or how old they were, or anything. Nada.
Well, if Olivia was the youngest, then you could just kind of guess how old the girls were. But I don't know. That always, like when there's like a child involved, or like the dad kills a mom and there's kids or something like that. How do you, like, I always think I'm like, poor kids. Like you just grow up and you're like, oh yeah, my mom killed my dad. Yeah. But in this case, you're like, oh, my mom killed my sister. What?
Yeah, and
like,
then
how do you...
in 16 years she's gonna come out and
fuck no.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? You're just gonna be like, hey guys, I'm chilling. Like, I don't know.
I hope they take care of her in jail.
I don't know.
I can't believe she only got 16 years.
I can't believe it. I don't know if the rules or like the regulations of Colorado are different from Texas. I don't know how that works, but I mean, all I know is that she did a lot of bad things, that she got away with a lot, to be honest. And, you know,
16 years is not a lot.
But the thing is, we need to find out, and we need to be aware that sometimes our parents don't know what's best for us. And obviously she was doing it for a reason.
Well, I mean, I think there's a difference, obviously, hers was an extreme.
Yeah, but still, like, okay, she's in pain. Well, did you ever ask if she was in pain? Did you ask her? I mean, she's
still hung up in the hospital. I'm like, how do you...
Yeah, and I think that a lot of the places that I read was that that after they did kind of were like, oh shit, we fucked up.
Right.
They just kind of were like, we can't go back anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's just happening. But then she took her out of that hospital.
Right. And they're like, okay,
and they're like, pues ya se la llevó. You know? And like,
and we did an investigation here. We didn't find anything.
And we didn't find anything because they covered their ass.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then one of the doctors did refuse to do the DNR. So, I mean, she went to another doctor. Like, she started over, and this other doctor
got the records that she was
feeding them. Yeah. So,
I don't know.
That was crazy, and I got a little bit upset. So, I guess too much. But let us know what you think. If you would like to, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow us at
Cafecito and Crying Pod.
And please download our episodes. Thank you so much for everyone that has been supporting us. Thank you so much for listening. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.